Building wealth is probably one of your goals and exactly why you're watching this video. That's why today we're going over the simple plan that you should follow to become wealthy in 2024. The first thing you need to do is build an action plan and have some goals. You need to know where you want to go and how to get there. Just by writing down this plan and having some sense of direction on where you want to go is going to help you in the long run and make your journey much easier. Once you have that plan figured out, or at least have an idea of your plan, the second step you need to do is have your money working for you through your investments. I'm sorry to break it to all those people who think they're going to save their way to being wealthy. It's not going to work for many reasons. If you're going to sit there and try to save every single dollar you have to become wealthy, you're just going to live a miserable life and you're never going to spend money that you're actually earning. And the second reason is it's not even going to work. Unless you make millions and millions of dollars every single year, it's practically impossible to save your way to becoming wealthy. If you were to invest $100 every single month for 35 years into an S&P 500 index fund which can return about 10%, you'll end up with around $325,000 with only investing $42,000. Now let's say rather than investing $100, you save triple that amount monthly and put $300 into a high yield savings account, which on average should give you around 3% over the 35-year period. You're only going to end up with $217,000 even though you invested 3 times the amount. So you saved an extra $100,000 or triple the amount, but ended up with $100,000 less. So don't try to save your way to being wealthy. Invest your way to being wealthy. And on that same note, in this plan to wealth, you want to make sure you're playing the long game and not trying to get rich quick. Don't try to buy the latest stock that everyone's talking about on Twitter. I mean X. Don't try to buy option calls on Spirit Airlines hoping it's gonna blow up. Instead, buy the companies with proven track records. Or better yet, buy index funds like VU, VTI, or VT, where you can just set it and forget it and not even have to worry about the research and picking stocks. In 2024, we're leaving get rich quick schemes in the past. That includes multi-level marketing, pyramid schemes, Ponzi schemes, buying whole life insurance so you can leverage it and take out a loan and do this and that. Don't try to complicate it. This is a simple path to wealth, not the complicated path to wealth. The third step to our plan is to further increase your gains through your investments. You must be taking advantage of your tax advantage accounts like your Roth IRA, your 401k, or your HSA. I mean, if you're trying to build wealth, why would you voluntarily sign up to give the government hundreds of thousands of dollars in tax money when you can literally put it into one of these accounts and avoid taxes and all? Your IRA is an individual retirement account which allows you to now invest $7,000 for the year 2024, and if you do it before tax season is over, you can still invest in 2023. But depending on which route you take, you can either invest with pre-tax dollars and pay your taxes later and no taxes now, or you can invest with post-tax dollars and pay no taxes during retirement. Depending on your personal situation, you're going to either want to take the Roth route or the traditional route, and I have a different video on that. Then you have your 401k, which is similar to the IRA, but is sponsored by an employer, so you need to be hired to some company that offers a 401k. With a 401k, they sometimes have additional benefits like free money or matching the money you put in. Then you have your HSA, which is the only triple tax advantage account out there. You have tax-free contributions, tax-free growth, and tax-free withdrawals. And aside from these 3 accounts, there are many other tax advantage accounts that you can be taken advantage of. So we talked about investing as a wealth builder, but now we're going to be talking about the wealth killer, and you should be avoiding this at all costs, and that's consumer debt, and especially credit card debt. You want to be avoiding this at all costs, and if you do already have consumer debt, make a plan to pay this down as much as possible in 2024, because you can't be wealthy if you have bad consumer debt. Because what makes consumer debt so bad is the ridiculous amount of interest that these credit card companies are charging you. Credit card interest rates are sitting pretty at about 28% right now. And another reason why credit cards are so dangerous is because everyone who buys stuff on a credit card are buying things they like. They're buying new clothes, they're buying new phones, they're buying new, and it's easy to spiral out of control. So there are a few tips to paying down credit card bills or consumer debt if you already do have some. And the first one is to make more than the minimum payment. See, credit cards throw this minimum payment out there so it can make you seem like you're actually paying down your debt, because you're still going to be charging interest. And when you make the minimum payment, you're paying the maximum interest. So the most important step to paying down that debt is make sure you're making as much payments to these credit card debts that you can. By paying down the credit card with 25% interest, you're getting an automatic 25% return on every single dollar that you put in per year. The next tip to paying down consumer debt is pay the most expensive card first. The most expensive card is usually the card with the highest interest rate. By doing this, you're reducing the amount of interest that you're going to be paying for all your credit cards or all your debt, and actually increasing the amount of money that's actually going towards paying down that debt. Next plan of action for the simple plan to building wealth in 2024 is creating a budget. I don't mean budget in the sense that you need to keep track of every single dollar and make sure you're only spending $200 here for the month, and if you go over your food budget, you can no longer eat for the rest of the month. What I mean by budget is make sure you know where your money is going, and more importantly, pay attention to these three numbers. How much money is going towards your bills, how much money is going to your savings and investments, and how much money you're spending on things that you want. Ideally, these should follow the 50-30-20 rule as close as possible. That's 50% for your needs or for your bills, 30% for your wants or to spend however you want, and then 20% should be going towards savings and investing. Along with setting the budget, you want to make sure you're spending a couple minutes every month to review your finances, because who knows, you could see that your bills are lower that month and actually spend more on saving and investing or spend more on wants. So we went over the wealth killers, we went over building your wealth. Now you want to talk about security. And the first step to security is building your emergency fund. Your emergency fund should be about 3 to 6 months worth of your expenses that is set aside in a high yield savings account or somewhere secure, not invested in the stock market, that will come to use if you ever lost a job or lost your source of income. The minimum that you want to have for this fund, like I said, is 3 to 6 months, but if you have a more variable job where it's going to take more time to find a new job, you can bump this out to 9 or 12 months if you feel that's comfortable. And now once you have your debts paid down, you focus on having your investments work for you, you have that emergency fund, it's time to start focusing on building that second stream of income. I know how this sounds.
Another financial guru talking about passive income or crypto.
I'm not talking about any of that. Find something that you enjoy. It could be a business, it could be a YouTube channel, whatever you want, and use that as a source of income. A second source of income is also going to provide you security, because if you ever lost your first source of income, you have something to fall back on. And of course, if you have more income, you have more to spend and more to enjoy. And lastly, I'm going to throw in a bonus tip. You want to make sure you're researching and gaining knowledge on how to build wealth. And you can first do that by subscribing to this page and watching this video next.